What's going on, YouTube? It's your main man, King Bishop, checking in here again from South Beach, Miami. Wanted to throw in a couple videos while I had some time in between time. I had a message on Facebook from somebody who looked me up on Facebook and asked me a question about, which I thought was really crazy because I didn't know what it really mattered. But this person asked me, which trucking group do I associate with? You know, which group am I a part of? And they continued to say, who do I conversate with on the YouTube world? And basically in the message, when it came to the YouTube part, they kind of just wanted to know if it was anybody else's videos that I supported to be factual as they did their research. So the first part, I would say I would talk about the YouTube. I don't deal with anybody else on YouTube. I used to, I don't now. But I don't deal with anybody specifically on YouTube. I don't have any of their phone numbers. None of them have my phone numbers anymore. I don't have any drama with nobody because I'm a grown man and I don't do trucking drama. I'm not one of those kind of people. But as far as for YouTube, a lot of the people that make videos on YouTube that you see actually trucking have some quality things to say. Now, are they all true? Of course not, because a lot of it is opinionated, and with any opinion, it could always be changed. It could always be personal, and it doesn't mean that you're going to have the same experience as his or her video. So, but I think YouTube is a great tool for a lot of things. Like, for instance, I use YouTube a lot when I started, a lot. You know, I learned how to do a pre-trip from YouTube. I knew how to do a pre-trip before I went to CDL school because I watched videos. I learned how to shift the 10-speed on YouTube before I ever got into a truck. So is YouTube very, very informative? Of course. You know, you just kind of have to pick the things that you're going to decide that you're going to listen to, and be able to sort through what's fact and what's opinion. And even some people's opinions are going to turn out to be factual. You know, so you kind of just got to pick and choose. You know, we're all adults. You know, not being gullible. You know, you just make the best decision on what you watch and what you believe from what you watch. And also, you know, you got to be careful because every state's rules and laws are different. For instance, I live in Virginia, and for what I've learned, Virginia is one of the hardest states to get your CDL in as far as the DMV testing. So I've learned that from other drivers when I talk to other drivers and let them know what I had to do to get my license. So, you know, those are some of the things. And then the second part of that message talked about these trucking groups. And this is something I don't talk about normally, but I'm going to make one video and talk about it so that I really don't get asked the question again. I do not recognize myself as a die-hard member of any trucking group. The reason why: I was once a part of a trucking group, and I was not hard body, not an administrator, wasn't ride or die for the group, but I was a member. I paid attention to what was posted, and sometimes I posted some things based on what was up there. At one point in this group, it was a message sent out by a couple of the administrators of the group telling the members that if you were a part of another group, specific group, and, you know, someone in the group saw you or was able to recognize that you were a member of this other specific group, then you would be deleted. And I commented about it. You know, I think that as a grown man, or as a grown woman in some people's cases, I'll join any group I want to join. You know, what kind of mess is this, man? This ain't Crips and Bloods. You know, you gonna tell me I can't walk on a specific block? You know, that's like telling somebody, man, you can't, if you roll with Swift, you can never go join CR England. You know what I mean? You can't do that. Come on, man. You know, none of these Facebook groups are improving or nobody's employment. You know what I mean? So if you are a part of a group, and that group, with any group, is telling you who you can and can't associate with based on who the administrators do and don't like, it's time to peel out. It's time to peel out because, you don't want nobody trying to control you, man. We're all adults. We all got our own brains. And I know me, no one's going to control me. So as a result of my comment on that status, I was kicked from the group. Not only was I kicked from the group, but two of the administrators whom I had multiple conversations with over the phone and kind of familiarized myself. I'm not going to say we were friends, but we talked regularly. They stopped answering phone calls and this and that. So I lost a lot of respect for them. I'm not going to mention their names because of the fact that I lost respect for them. I wouldn't give them the respect to mention their names because their names mean nothing to me. Now, what that means for me is I wish them all the best. You know what I mean? If I seen them hurt, I would still call the ambulance. I would still stop on the side of the road because that's what kind of man I am. But as far as me connecting myself with them personally, they don't deserve that. You know what I mean? Because to me, as an adult or as an individual who claims to be a lead of a group is supposed to, in order for a group to be strong, you have to have different personalities and also a difference of opinion. Now, it doesn't mean that anyone has to be rude to each other or anything like that, but, to say that, because you are willing to be boisterous about your opinion and speak out about it, they want to kick you from their group that's not making me no more money. Forget it. Y'all have fun, do what y'all do in your little Facebook group. It is what it is. That means nothing to me. So I wanted to put that out there so that I don't get that message again. Do I still sit into some groups? Yeah, I sit into some groups because, like for instance, the groups are good tools if you want to know something. Like for instance, being new out here, if you want to know, hey man, what's the difference with certain companies? Based on those drivers that are in that group's experiences, they should give you some difference of opinions. And that's good when you start to base your decisions to have all the information possible. After you talk to the recruiter, after you talk to a couple other drivers, you should be able to base your decision somewhat based on what they've told you. And it's a good tool for that. It's a good tool if you have questions. And in one of the groups I'm in, a lot of people post up scale tickets and ask people, hey man, how can I shift this load? Or has anybody been to this shipper? And they just post stuff like, hey man, where am I? Just the friendly side of trucking to show, just to interact with other drivers. The road is a very, very lonely place, So to have a group of people who understand what you're going through, who understands the days ins and days outs, it's kind of cool to be able to connect to. But don't let that be your all in all on these groups, man, because at the end of the day, some of these groups are like that. When you say something that they don't like or they don't agree with, the first thing they're going to do is boot you, And anybody who knows me knows I'm one of those kind of people where I'm straightforward. I'm not going, if I think something is messed up, I'm going to say it's messed up. I get on my YouTube videos, I don't do a lot of cussing, I don't do all of that because I don't feel like I have to cuss in order to get my point across. And I don't call names and talk bad to people because I don't feel like I got to do that to get my point across. But I'm also not going to be controlled by people who don't control my money. You know what I mean? Now, if you were my company that I enjoy being with and, you had some basis on my money, I may back up out of group so that my money don't stop flowing. But, on the side of me just being in there screen watching sometimes and doing some creep lurking, bro, it's not even worth it. So, that's how I feel about that, YouTube. At the end of the day, you make the best decision for you. If you find one group that you familiarize with and they seem to fit you, cool. You find 10 of them, cool, man. That's Facebook, it's social media. They can shut it down tomorrow and we would all find somewhere else to be. For example, Bebo. For example, MySpace. So all this stuff with Twitter and and Facebook and all of that. Don't let that stuff roll up your money, because y'all getting into some beef with one group over another group, and even hear some stupid crap on YouTube of people threatening each other's families. Man, that nothing on Facebook, somebody sitting behind a computer screen thugging is worth what you got going on in your personal lives. So keep it in its rightful place. As always, it's your man, King Bishop. Listen, like, comment, subscribe, all three of the above, dislike, whatever you feel, man, so I can keep these videos coming. And, I appreciate y'all for watching as always. God be easy. Peace.